Prior to the wall's collapse, East Germans were, once again, leaving their country in droves, this time via Hungary, which had opened its borders with Austria. The SED was helpless to stop the flow of people wanting to leave, some of whom sought refuge in the West German embassy in Prague. Meanwhile, mass demonstrations in Leipzig spread to other cities, including East Berlin. As the situation escalated, Erich Honecker relinquished leadership to Egon Krenz, b. 1937. And then the floodgates opened. On the fateful night of November 9, 1989, party functionary Günter Schabowski informed GDR citizens they could travel directly to the west, effective immediately. The announcement itself was correct, but it was not supposed to be made until the following day, leaving border guards overwhelmed. Tens of thousands of East Germans jubilantly rushed through border points in Berlin and elsewhere in the country, bringing to an end the long, chilly phase of German division. The new millennium. With the formation of a coalition government of SPD and Alliance 90/the Greens in 1998, Germany reached a new milestone. It marked the first time an environmentalist party had governed nationally, in Germany or elsewhere in the world. Two figures dominated the 7-year rule of the coalition, Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder, b. 1944, and the Green Party Vice-Chancellor and Foreign Minister Joschka Fischer, b. 1948. Despite the latter's left-wing house-squatting roots in 1970s Frankfurt am Main, he enjoyed respect abroad and widespread popularity among Germans of all political stripes. Under Schroeder, Germany began to take a more independent approach to foreign policy, refusing military involvement in Iraq but supporting the USA, historically its closest ally, in Afghanistan and the war in Kosovo. Its stance on Iraq, which reflected the feelings of the majority of Germans, strained relations with the George W. Bush administration. The rise of the Greens and, more recently, the Democratic Socialist Die Linke, the left, has changed the political landscape of Germany dramatically, making absolute majorities by the Big Two, i.e. CDU/CSU and SPD, all the more difficult to achieve. The 2005 election brought a grand coalition of CDU/CSU and SPD with Angela Merkel, b. 1954, as Chancellor, the first woman, former East German, Russian speaker and quantum chemist in the job. While many Germans hoped this would resolve a political stalemate that had existed between an opposition-led Bundesrat, upper house, and the government, political horse trading shifted away from the political limelight and was mostly carried out behind closed doors. When the financial crisis struck in 2008, the German government pumped hundreds of billions of euros into the financial system to prop up the banks. Other measures allowed companies to put workers on shorter shifts without loss of pay and such incentive schemes as encouraging Germans to trade older cars for new ones. The election of 2009 confirmed the trend towards smaller parties and a five-party political system in Germany. Both CDU/CSU and SPD lost a considerable number of votes to the FDP, left and Green parties. Support for the left had been consistently strong in eastern Germany, but success in 2009 allowed it to establish itself at the federal level. The 2013 election slightly reversed the trend, with the big parties gaining back some of the votes. The biggest loser that year was the FDP, which garnered a mere 4.8%, 9.8% less than in 2009, thus falling below the 5% required for representation in the Bundestag. The 2013 election also saw the meteoric rise of a new conservative party, the Eurosceptic Alternative für Deutschland, AfD, Alternative for Germany. Founded in April 2013, it scooped up 4.7% of the vote, with a platform advocating a return to the Deutschmark and other national currencies, a flat tax of 25% and tighter immigration laws. Voters were drawn from across the political spectrum but shared a general disillusionment with existing parties. Although narrowly missing the 5% Bundestag threshold, the AfD has since gained representation in the European Parliament and in the state parliaments of Brandenburg, Saxony, Thuringia, Hamburg and Bremen. However, the election of the national conservative Frauke Petry as party leader at the AFD convention in July 2015 prompted thousands of more moderate members, including co-founder Bernd Lucke, to leave the party. A couple of weeks later, Lucke founded a new party, called Alpha. In her convention speech, Petry garnered some of the biggest applause for her Islamophobic stance, which reflects her popularity among sympathizers of the anti-Islam, anti-immigrant Pejdah, patriotic Europeans against the Islamization of the West, a populist movement founded in Dresden in October 2014. Although subject to strong criticism for its ties to the far right, Pejdah quickly managed to attract thousands of followers and made headlines throughout the winter of 2014-15 with weekly demonstrations that peaked with 25,000 participants in January 2015. This sparked numerous, even bigger counter-rallies, as well as public condemnation by senior politicians, including Angela Merkel, and celebrities. The issue fueling support for both AFD and Pejdah is the wave of political and economic refugees trying to enter Europe. In 2017, Germany handled more asylum applications than the rest of the EU combined. As many as 524,185 applications for asylum were processed, an increase of 5.8% compared to the previous year. Xenophobia and frustration with existing immigration laws and policies have led to a number of arson attacks on shelters built for asylum seekers to live in while their applications grind through Germany's complex bureaucratic process. Amid all these serious developments came a moment of levity in 2014, when the German national soccer team won the FIFA World Cup for the fourth time. The title had previously been bestowed in 1954, 1974, and 1990. Angela Merkel, the enigmatic chancellor. Some say that she's enigmatic, others, that she likes to keep a low profile when political dissonance breaks out, especially within her own party. Indisputable, however, is that Angela Merkel's rise to become German Chancellor in 2005 brought about a number of firsts. She was Germany's first woman and first former East German in the job and, because of the latter, she also became the first Russian-speaking German Chancellor. Merkel was born in Hamburg in 1954 but grew up in the Boondocks, in the Uckermark region, in Brandenburg, near the Polish border, where her father had a posting as a pastor in East Germany. She studied physics in Leipzig, and later earned a doctorate in quantum chemistry from the Academy of Sciences of the German Democratic Republic, entering politics as the GDR was falling apart. Soon she was honing her political skills in the ministries of a reunified Germany. Women and Youth was one ministry, Environment, Natural Protection, and Reactor Safety was another, under Helmut Kohl, which is why she's sometimes called Kohl's foster child. Her breakthrough came in the late 1990s when the reputations of several CDU high flyers suffered as a result of a party slush fund. While political commentators outside Germany have often compared her to the former UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Merkel's leadership style rarely has the bite of Britain's Iron Lady. What Thatcher and Merkel do have in common, though, is that both have ranked among the Forbes list of the 100 most powerful women in the world. Angela Merkel has topped every list, bar the one in 2010 when she dropped to number 4, since 2006.